Hey there everybody and welcome back to ADHD Hobbies. This is the fourth and final video in this build series, and we're going to cover this magnificent, I'm going to call it a Titan. We're going to cover this magnificent Titan and just do a quick fly through. The other three videos have covered things from how to get your resources, how to make materials, and even down to some of the basic steps I used to build this. I just kind of want to fly through it now, show everybody what it was, get some nice, good, glory shots and see what happens. You know, got some cool little tricks. I bet you're looking at some things and wondering. Lots of zip lines and stuff going everywhere. When I first built this, the only thing I knew was I wanted to build something in the sandbox and I wanted to build something on the castle. I originally had something off over there in that corner. You can see where some of the damaged stuff is, oddly enough. But the antlines kept breaking it and I got tired of repairing my zip line. So I figured the top of the sandcastle would be the safest place. The first thing I did was built this star shape for the base. I thought it was kind of cool and it was literally the only thing I knew I wanted to do going into this. Outside of the fact that I did not want to use any stems for the actual structure part of the castle. It did get used for some things, like there's stems in the turrets, and there's some stems in for like the water stuff inside, decorations ultimately. But the castle went through a few different iterations, and this is what I came up with. The original building was not supposed to be a big mech-looking Titan thing. It just evolved to that. I finally got the castle looking menacing enough. I did decide I wanted it to look kind of like an evil lair. And then from that, during a stream, chatting with some of the people, came up with the skull idea. Later on, I decided to add the crown. Thought it was kind of cool. At first, I was just going to add the gold bug, but got the rest of the widow spiderlings and kind of a quick crown there. Had a lot of fun working with that. Used the splinter traps for decoration up the side of the wall. That one took a long time to come up with. I couldn't really find anything, and since it's at an angle, most things wouldn't fit. Also used them to some capacity down here as well. The structure does stand on its own if all the legs are broken off. It was not intentional, just somewhere along the way I was able to ground it to it, get something anchored to the actual castle, so that's a good one considering this is NG+1 and I run into infused antlines and things down at the bottom. But going all the way around, you'll see that it's just the legs. It's the same structure. Got the turrets up underneath. Didn't do as much detail to the back, but you know, it's the back. Looks like I still have some construction stuff going on there. You'd think somebody would clean this stuff up making a video. Moving on to one of my favorite pieces, and definitely a later add-on, is this massive Gauss rifle, railgun, energy weapon, melter cannon, depending on your lore, where you're at. I had the castle built with the legs. I thought it looked too menacing not to just have a big weapon. This was a lot of fun to design because, again, I didn't want to use a lot of stems. I was trying to make the base without using too many stems. And so you'll notice that a lot of my stuff is still pine cone and acorn and mushroom and stuff like that. I wanted it to look mechanical though. I wanted it to look like a gun. I wanted it to look energized. And overall, I'm really extremely happy with the way it turned out. Not bad for a base built simply to house my antlion armor. My antlion armor gets to be housed in style, I suppose. I added the tie downs all the way around it. I can't decide if this thing is, if it's the one that put the tie downs or if somehow it's just been trapped in the sandbox. I kind of like the trapped in the sandbox scenario, but I don't really picture those little strings holding it down. Another thing of mention should also be the bridge that went with it. Getting across this gap can be a pain. Anybody knows that. The antlines will come and tear anything up. But just a happy hint in this video, if you build from the bottom up and then just put a little island out here, it gives you a really quick, easy place to just hop across, and you don't have to worry about the antlines destroying it all the time. And it also kind of looks cool. We ain't gonna lie. Am I right? Okay. Alright, that looks like a pretty solid tour of the outside. There's only so many things you can show with 4 legs and a gun. Let's go on the inside and take a look at what it is. And then one of my favorite things, we're going to shoot out of this zip line, but you got to wait one whole second before we get there. Got it lit up like a Christmas tree down there, easy to see. Got the man inside, and simply just a whole bunch of antlion armors. I do need to pick up my mantis armor since we're about to be leaving. And just enough area here for a place to AFK because it's grounded. We all know how that goes. And then water and fridge and some storage. And some trash. It looks like my room, evidently. Got a nice view overlooking everything. Got the storage down there. And that's all. All right, I'd like to thank you all very much for sticking around and hanging out just long enough to watch me shoot out this thing. Until next time, you have a great day.